at Sharp Cheddar Green Bay.
What?
With football and beer.
The land on the hill.
Cheers, boys.
Fuck the Bears.
Crack your beers.
Oh my God.
So stay sharp.
Go Pack, go.
All right, everybody. We are back after a really good week 13. We got everybody here virtually again. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to, schedule this so we can actually record in person in a while. Hopefully, we can fix that in the coming weeks. But all right, everybody, crack 'em.
Cheers. Love that sound.
Everybody, you can follow us on YouTube at Sharp Cheddar Green Bay and Instagram and Twitter at Sharp Cheddar GB. All right, everybody, I am drinking a Spotted Cow again this week.
Nice.
I am as well, out of my wonderful fucking Lions koozie.
That's awesome.
Natty Bo.
Nice.
I got some kind of 7.5% New Belgium voodoo shit. So, yeah, we'll see how that hits later on in the episode.
All right, so we had a pretty wild experience for this Philly game. The game itself was it turned out about as well as we thought it would, but, everything surrounding it is what it is. We'll get into that. Looking forward to this next week, another big divisional game. I believe if we win this week, we clinch a playoff spot, right?
And, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals also need to lose or something like that. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
we're
that's
right
pretty hot.
I think we clinch the division if we win and then the Bears and Vikings lose.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there are a few scenarios there. Anyway, let's get into the first quarter and go over what we saw on Sunday. All right, Joe, let's kick it off with you.
Yeah, I mean, guys, we literally, whatever TV or bar you're tuning in from, we're watching fucking history being made. We're watching the greatest football player of all time throw to the best, or potentially the best Packers wide receiver of all time, putting himself up there as the best current NFL wide receiver of all time. And it's magic every night, every Sunday night. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, the connection that Devontae and Aaron have this season is just on another level. I mean, someone pointed out that over his last 16 games, he's got, I think, 17 touchdowns and over 1,600 receiving yards. So, I mean, he's averaging over 100 yards and a touchdown every single game.
Those are some good GRE stats.
Oh, yeah. This is just a different level of football, and it's awesome to watch it being played on our team.
And a special shout out to the two of them, Rodgers and Adams, for catapulting me into my fantasy playoffs. Cheers.
And another quick shout out to Tanyan, who's sneakily, I think he's tied for 6th in the league in touchdowns, which is in receiving touchdowns, which is awesome for a tight end. And he's got the most out of a Packers tight end in 35 years or something. So love seeing that kind of production out of a tight end.
That's the biggest surprise of the season for me. I thought for sure, and we can go back and watch the tape, I thought for sure Jay Sternberger was going to come out swinging.
I think we all did, yeah.
Yeah, that Tanyan coming out and, having more touchdown pass for receptions than any Packer since 2002?
It was 84.
84? Oh,
wow.
Shit.
After Sunday night?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even Big Dog's getting a lot of production. I mean, he gets 2 targets, but he makes the most out of them, rumbling down the field.
Yeah, I think we've carried over the chemistry that we had last year, which we had it, but we had a first-year offense, so Rodgers seemed a little confused last year just of the play call and how long it took. So year 2 of that with the same chemistry, if not better, you can kind of tell that the team actually loves each other. Kind of what we were talking about last year, the reason we got to a 13-3 and we're, quote, a bad 13-3, but we have this really good chemistry, and that does mean something, especially during COVID.
I love you guys, so that means something for our chemistry too,
It does. Devontae Adams, though, this year, we're clearly seeing something amazing. I was just looking. I read something earlier that he reached a milestone for the number of games that he has played and the number of yards and touchdowns he's amassed. And I can't find it, so I don't know exactly what the numbers are. But only Randy Moss and like maybe one other receiver in history has gotten the number of yards and number of touchdowns as Davante Adams to this point in his career. Like, it is crazy that, back in 2015, we were watching Davante Adams, and I don't know about you guys, but I was screaming all year, we got to cut.
Yeah.
This guy sucks. What the hell is he still doing on the team? And now he's easily the best.
Is that gonna be St. Brown EQ in like 2-3 years?
Maybe.
You know it.
Except Davante was on the
MVS
field.
next year. Hopefully MVS makes that leap next year.
We've been saying that for years.
Yeah,
I mean,
I also really liked what I was seeing out of the defense. It seems like the defensive front is really starting to get after the quarterback like they did last year, and how they were failing to earlier in the season. So I love to see that.
Because they went to Pettin and told him to change up the play calling.
I know,
Yeah,
but it's awesome that he was open to that and that he listened and was like, okay, if you guys want a change here, let's work together and make this change. And it worked.
Yeah.
We also
From
played
our resident Pettin hater, Matt, what's your stance on this, and walk us through
we played a third string offensive line. I think that's a very crazy take after last week. Like, literally, I don't think one of those guys plays on any position on our team. So I think once we play the Titans, I said it last week, once we play the Titans, that'll be the tell of like where our team actually is. That's kind of it. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, they played well. We literally played a third string defensive line. And a quarterback who got subbed out at halftime, and then a new quarterback came in who wasn't practicing all week. Like,
yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Like, can you imagine being in that situation that the Eagles are in with Carson Wentz? He's going to count $30+ million against your cap, and he is now your backup. Like,
I mean, I wanted to comment on the defense as well. Zadarius actually has some kind of stats. I think he's got double-digit sacks in back-to-back seasons, which is something new for the Packers too, since for a while. And yeah, I mean, again, most of their points were like at the start of the fourth quarter with Jalen in.
Garbage time.
Which is already garbage time, dude. Like, come on. And yeah, like no one has footage on Jalen Hurts since he was at fucking Oklahoma and Alabama. Like, whatever, dude. Like, it's fine. He throws a fucking fourth and, whatever, hail to get a touchdown. So I wasn't too worried about that. The one thing I'll say, again, the defense looks like they're doing well. A lot of young guys stepping up that is really promising looking forward down the stretch. You got Savage making good plays and picking the ball off like crazy. Gary and Kiki getting involved. But what the fuck is going on with our punt return, dude, on the special team?
Seriously, special teams is looking a little rough.
For 2 weeks out of this season so far, JK is in the doghouse with me for his little fucking like, run to you. Oh, no. Like, come on, bro. Like, what is that? What is that move?
Yeah, dude, our special teams when was the last time we had good special teams?
I mean, Cobb was like the punt or kick returner. Like maybe Randall's first year in the NFL or second.
2011?
Yeah, somewhere probably around there.
I mean, we've got a good kicker, so.
Yeah, Mason is good.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, wasn't Swerve Irvin back this past week?
Yeah,
only briefly. He got hurt again.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's seemingly made of glass. So hopefully Tavon Austin can come kind of jumpstart the return game. I think that would be awesome. Even if he can just come onto the team and add that dimension, that'd be great. And then, yeah, I don't know what to do about the punt return coverage because that is there have been 4 punt returns for touchdowns this year. 2 of them are given up by us.
That can't be.
So we are bleeding into quarter 2 here. So let's just officially do that. But yeah, dude, like the special teams are atrocious. I kind of agree with Matt to a certain extent about the defense. although I will say I have been very impressed with Savage the past 2 weeks. I know that we have not been playing great offenses.
I'm a savage.
The fact that he's been able to pinpoint the ball and just go out and get it is something like we haven't seen that out of a Green Bay safety in a long time.
Yeah. Just a ball hawk.
And he's a youngin'.
Yeah. And I do think it's fair to withhold judgment on how the defense has been playing the last 2 weeks when it's the
Bears and
the
Eagles.
Bears and the Eagles. But I mean, you do have to acknowledge that the last 2 weeks they've looked a lot better. It could just be because of the teams we're playing, but I do think that they've looked better, and hopefully they can build on that and get some of that confidence back.
It's about confidence. You're right.
I have Super Bowl aspirations. I'm not trying to get worked by a team first round and lose. So I'm judging everything by, can we win the Super Bowl? Yeah. So every comment is, can we win the Super Bowl?
Sure.
So we better look like this against the freaking Eagles and Bears. We better.
I'm not sure why you weren't having that expectation when we lost to the Colts, but I will keep that for our previous episode. Listeners, please tune into episode, I believe 16 it is, for your reference. But yeah, I mean, I will still postulate that it doesn't matter. If our defense plays just like as it has this season, and our offense plays a full game, this is literally the only thing I have on my fucking screen. We play a full game consistently. You're not going to beat us. Like, if we don't fumble the ball and Aaron Rodgers is the best player on the field, along with Devontae Adams, and our defense comes up with like a stop, we're going to win the game.
Yeah, I'm still very worried.
Not saying that I don't expect the defense to play better, and I want them to be better, but that's my take.
I want to see how our defensive line. I'm really not worried about the pass rush. Like, I know that Rashawn Gary and Zadarius Smith can get after the passer. I'm worried about when you have a Derrick Henry running down your throat. What are you going to do? If we can stop him, Super Bowl, we're going to be watching the Packers in the Super Bowl in Vegas, and it's going to be awesome.
Fucking Vegas, baby.
Yeah, and I like our chances very much against Tennessee, especially they're coming to Lambeau. They don't play in the cold. Everything's lined up for us to win out. The Saints lose against the Chiefs. We get the number one seed in the road through Lambeau. Like, it's lining up.
We're supposed to talk about NFC standings here, guys, right?
All right, let's talk about it.
I mean, we officially overtook the second seed with the Seahawks. Surprising yet not so surprising loss to the Giants.
I wasn't surprised. I called it.
And I
did too, Matt.
But we're patiently waiting for the Saints to play the Chiefs and then just fucking get into that spot. I kind of like that we haven't been like the Steelers right now, where they're like undefeated and like everyone's on everyone's attention. Like, we're not flying under the radar, obviously, but like, Aaron Rodgers is on the MVP #1 list right now. But like,
well, Mahomes is, and I think that's helping us fly under the radar, because if Mahomes wasn't playing like that, then it's Aaron Rodgers and everyone else, because it's Rodgers and Mahomes versus everyone else. So if one of them wasn't there, that's all anyone would talk about, which I think helps our case as well.
Yeah. But
are there any teams in the NFC in the wild card right now that worry you, or even in the hunt for the wild card?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa
Bay worked pretty freaking badly. Like, I think them coming to Lambeau would be a different story. Anyone coming to Lambeau is a different story, but we haven't played all well at home either.
I also think you guys forgot that was before they brought Antonio Brown in to destroy the locker room.
But
and
also,
since then, they've lost like 4 or 5 or something.
Give me that rematch in Lambeau when it's cold. Tom's being a little bitch, and we won't turn the ball over.
Well, Tom Brady's used to playing in the cold. I'm not worried about Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady he would probably be fine. But the whole rest of that team that's just been playing their entire year or career down in Florida, they would be. I
mean, tough. Tom's still a baby back bitch.
He is a little
true.
Bitch.
Fact check, true.
I mean, the other thing we're not mentioning is like the Lions, who we played this week, are technically in the hunt. But hey,
Well, I asked you who you're worried about, not just who's in the hunt.
Let's save it for after halftime.
All right.
Wait. Before we go into halftime, though, we opened with this and we just kind of mentioned it again. But like, I've got to reiterate, like Aaron Rodgers is playing at an MVP level right now. He notched his 400th touchdown on Sunday night. Like, it's fucking amazing, guys. Like, I love it.
Leads the league this year in touchdowns and in passer rating.
Fastest quarterback to get to 400, and it's not even close. It's like 12 games, which is a substantial amount of throws. And he's got the least interceptions to get there. I think he told the media that he's like, yeah, I'm going to try to get to 500 touchdowns without getting to my 100th interception. And it's like totally feasible that he does that. So
yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's call it. Let's get into halftime. Let's do our shout outs here before we do the shot. Let's start out with Hammy's. Hamilton's Bar and Grill had a rough go of it this past weekend with the whole TV situation. You know, we were there. Apparently, there was some dispute between CBS and DirecTV. I don't know what the hell was going on with that, but we the game there, had to relocate at halftime. We still love you guys. Bar home away from home. Yeah, we'll see you Sunday.
Yeah, let's talk about Johnsonville brats. They're so fucking juicy and good. The cheddar and beer brats just remain supreme. And you can't get any better than Jayville. The best brats in the game. Perfect for your tailgate Sundays. Johnsonville brats, the official, unofficial bratwurst sharp cheddar.
I can confirm though that Mambo sauce does not go with a beer and cheddar brat. That combination does not work. I thought for sure it would. It didn't.
No. I warned you, but
yeah. I had to try it.
Brats
Next
were good,
up,
though.
Miller High Life and Spotted Cow. Two of our favorites here on the show. So if either of you are feeling generous this holiday season, let us know and we'll gladly accept gifts from you guys.
I shout out any team that I pick for Eliminator over the next 4 weeks in my quest for $1 million. Yeah.
All right,
Who did you pick this week, Matt?
Vikings, and they barely won. Can't believe that happened.
Did not cover the spread. Loved it. All right, I am once again Graham Marnier. This thing is going to last me the rest of the season.
I'll show the YouTubers, but I got my little Packers shot glass here, and I made a little. I don't know what's going on with that liquor cabinet, but I made a little eggnog white Russian kind of mixer. So we're dealing with a little part vodka, part Kahlua, part eggnog. You know, it's festive season here.
I got one of my weird bottles of home infused bourbon. So.
Oh yes, a man of many skills.
I got peanut butter whiskey.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Go back, go.
Fuck the Lions.
So with that, let's do a little short lightning round. What game surprised you the most this week, Matt? I can guess what it is, but
well, because you can take that one. I'll take Jets versus Raiders, where it's very clear that the Jets tanked. I think it's fucking bullshit that you fired Greg Williams, where clearly someone told him, go all out. We want the number one pick. I think that's very bullshit how that went down. That would have helped me so much in Eliminator. I'm going Jets versus Raiders.
I can't say that one's very surprising. I do agree with you that the Greg Williams thing is complete bullshit because the team is 0-12 and you're going to blame the defensive coordinator for one play. I would argue the defense on that team has been the only halfway decent part.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna say, even though I called this when we were doing our game picks, I'm a little surprised at how close the Denver Kansas City game was. I did not think that Kansas City was going to cover that 14.5-point spread. However, I thought it would be a little bit – I thought they'd beat them a little bit more handily than they did, like maybe 10 points. That one was a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah, I'll go Giants over Seahawks. Made a nice little wager with Matt, 100 to 10 odds. So love that. Honorable mention, though, goes to the Bears finding a way to lose 6 straight after starting the season looking like contenders.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not mention the upset last night with the Skins beating the Steelers, but again, that doesn't have anything to do with the Packers playoff situation. So I'll go with Hank on the Giants upset over the Seahawks.
Love that one. All right, let's crack these next one, boys, and get into the quarter 3.
This is a lot tougher when you're using like 7%ers.
All right, quarter 3. Let's look forward to these Lions. Is there anything about that game that they had last week against the Bears? I didn't watch 1 minute of that, to be honest. But is there anything about that that's worrying you about this Sunday, Hank?
Adrian Peterson, because I don't care how old he gets, he somehow, wherever he goes in his career, whatever shit he's dealing with, he just likes to be a thorn in our side. So not really necessarily worried about the game as a whole, but just him pissing me off for the last, I don't know, it feels like 20 years.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that I'm worried by any means, but yeah, I mean, if you got to put any concern, it'd be on our run defense with Adrian. Though, to be fair, I mean, Stafford is still a threat. He's playing decent. I mean, if he does play good on any given Sunday, they can be decent. But I'm not worried at that aspect because I think Jair is going to be on lock. Savage is going to be on lock. Like, I think our secondary is going to lock that up. But I mean, they always play us close. Like, I'm not concerned about any aspect of the Lions. Just worried about, like, it is a divisional game. It's a big one. They are potentially now still in the hunt, even though Matt will scoff at that. Like, yeah, you know, the Lions
they are technically in the hunt.
But the Lions don't need to play for the playoffs because they haven't fucking done that in fucking decades. They'll just play to fuck you up and, like, be dirty. So, you know, it's just they're going to play you tight and fuck them.
So if you're worried about the Lions, then we're not a Super Bowl team. I'm not concerned about them at all. I think offensively, if we don't put up like 45 points on them, I think that'd be a joke. I can't see, and we talked about this with the Jags, and that came down to weather. I'm going to blame weather on that game of why we didn't just absolutely destroy them. But outside of weather, there's no, like, they don't have their top corner. They don't have their top 2 corners. I think a defensive lineman. We have Aaron Jones and Devontae. Like, we should easily be able to put up 45. Our defense is way better than our offense. LaFleur's coaching really well right now. I can't see it.
Especially against the division.
Yeah,
you guys all call me the pessimist that you're worried about the Lions, to be clear.
No, I was answering Omar's question, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all. Zero.
I'm with Matt on this one. The Lions are –
Oh, so you just set us up to fail with that question.
I did that one on purpose. The Lions are legit dead last now in total yards allowed. They're allowing 415 yards a game. You know, they're only rushing for 82 yards a game. So even I can see it on the Adrian Peterson thing because I can vividly remember 2012 standing in my living room screaming at my TV for somebody to just take Adrian Peterson out as he was ruining our chances of getting our first round bye, which he did, and then he won MVP, and it was bullshit.
Omar, you're gonna be the dad that, like, is at T-ball and, like, there's like a pitcher that goes to take a whiz and you, like, fucking take a bat to his knee so your son can get play.
No, if it happens, it happens. But yeah, their offense is not. It is not that good. I mean, Matthew Stafford is a pretty competent quarterback. Like they can still sling the ball around, but their rushing game is, like I said, 82 yards a game. I'm not worried about that. We should be able to take care of that.
God help us if Kenny Golladay doesn't play. If he doesn't play, this might be a quick blowout. If he plays, him, TJ Hawk, and Marvin Jones are a pretty good threesome. But
all right, so if it's going to be a blowout, though, let's play a complete game and, like, have it be 42-3. Like, let's not have them come back and score 21 points in the third quarter, you know?
That would be
I was
nice.
looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, since I didn't watch any of that game last week against the Bears, I'm curious to see what the team looks like now that Matt Patricia's gone.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I have to imagine, since they won last week, that Matt Patricia was probably like Antonio Brown on the Bucs. It's got to be like a cancer of sorts, right?
Yeah, I've mentioned this for months, and I mentioned this prior to the year, which is why I made my bet him versus Doug Marrone, because I've heard Matt Patricia in the locker room is an absolute cancer, and everyone fucking hates him. Who wouldn't hate him? You know, you're in Detroit, this shithole city, and then you have this fat fuck telling you what to do, and he fucking sucks. You don't win any games. You never make the playoffs. You have Matt Stafford, this godly quarterback. You had Calvin Johnson. You did nothing. I'd be pissed as well.
Yeah, fuck them, dude. Can we also chat a little bit outside the Lions and just hate on the Bears? Because why not? It's any given week that we can hate on the Bears. But, like, they lose again 6 in a row. And now all of a sudden, like, our game at the end of the season doesn't really even look like it's going to mean, like, shit. The Lions are in second place, you know?
You
Well,
keep
it'll
saying
mean
that they're
shit
not
for-
in second place. Do you understand how standings work? The Vikings and Bears are ahead of them. The Lions are not in the hunt.
Oh,
and the
are they in
Vikings and
last
Bears
place?
are ahead of them. Like, I don't. Good luck Saturday on your GRE. Good fucking luck.
I thought the Lions were. Where are the Vikings at? I guess they won. Whatever. Fuck them all, dude.
That's a good
Why
point.
do we need to talk about the Lions? This is stupid.
So we play this week.
But hey, you are the resident guy who actually lived in Detroit for a while.
Yeah.
So what are your family and friends who are actually Lions friends saying about the firing of Matt Patricia?
A new coach will come in, suck for 3 years, and get fired. I don't know. It's just kind of an endless cycle there. This is
business as
what
usual.
they do. Yeah. You know,
So sad.
we
It's like the
go to
life
the
cycle of a
playoffs
Lion.
and skip free agency. They suck and fire a coach, you know,
Yeah.
and then lose on Thanksgiving.
All right.
For them, Robert Saleh, the 49ers
Saleh.
defense coordinator. Sorry, I get it. Like, he's really good, but he's had the best pieces in the NFL for like 3 years. I don't know. Like, that's kind of what hurt Matt Patricia. Like, you were coaching this really good defense in New England. You come over, you have nothing. And it's like, okay, what? Like, you don't have this crazy scheme. You just have really good pieces, and you know what to do with it.
Yeah, I think that coaches need to start being pickier about what jobs they're willing to take, because going from D coordinator to head coach, like it's a shift up in title. But if you know that you're going to go to a team that isn't ready to win immediately, you have such a small window that you have to make everything better. You know, if you bide your time as one of the most coveted coordinators in the country, wait for a good team with a lot of pieces to open up, like the Packers did when we got rid of McCarthy. I mean, we had a team where obviously LaFleur has shown you can come in and you can win immediately with that team.
Or Tomlin with the Steelers. Remember
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Like Cowher retired, and then Tomlin got in there, and he just hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah. Whereas no one's going to go into Detroit and radically overhaul that team in the next 2 years before they get fired. It takes too long, and fan bases are way too impatient.
But I wonder if that's true, though, because the Lions just had Jim Caldwell, and they had 3 straight winning seasons. And, like, yeah, they weren't making deep runs in the playoffs or anything. But a lot of those same pieces are still there. I'm wondering if Matt Patricia just was not a good coach, like for the entire team. Like clearly he's a good enough defensive coordinator that he was, he got the Bill Belichick stamp of approval. And we know that Bill Belichick is for anything you want to say, a brilliant coach. But yeah, I'm wondering if that was more Patricia than the roster.
Yeah, it definitely could have been. I also think that the Lions have some higher structural issues with ownership that they need to address.
Is it not the same issue as the Bears that they both have these owners that are 900 years old that have very little say and just hire someone and go, good luck? Like,
right.
Yeah, who fucking cares?
Yeah. I care. I love the fact that they keep doing
Kill them
this.
all, dude. Punch them.
All right, let's get into
Air tastes delicious. Lion
Joe,
too.
Joe, what's your prediction for this week?
Oh, I don't know why you pinned Hank and me on this like concern about the Lions. I'm with Matt here. I think it's going to be like 45-10.
I was literally about to say that number. Wow.
I was too.
Let's go to Vegas right now, Matt.
All right, Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I was literally about to say that, so I'll change it, I guess. So 7 times 6. I'll go 43 and a field goal. I'll go 46-21.
Hank?
42-6.
Dude, yes, let's go.
I think I'm going to go 40-14.
So the spread's 7.5, which I find an absolute joke and an embarrassment to
What's the spread?
7.5.
Put your life savings.
Yeah, we might be
yeah.
That's a wild spread. Like,
it's at Detroit, right?
Yeah, this one's at Detroit.
I mean, what does it matter?
No, because Aaron is going to be in a dome, so the weather isn't going to affect him.
Yeah, he loves the dome. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know about that. The Lions always play us a little bit tougher in that dome, but I'm not worried about it this week.
No fans, though.
Yeah.
Didn't Lambeau say they were going to do throughout the remainder of the season at Lambeau, they're going to do like family of the players or something like that?
Yeah, they have been doing that.
Yeah. No, I think that was just last week they did.
I think the past couple of weeks, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's quarter 4 around the league. I think we have to touch on Washington beating Pittsburgh last night.
Yeah, I took that money line, baby.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
What was it?
Matt's baby thing is
Plus 240.
Plus 240.
Yeah,
wow. That's hot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's that surprised, dude. Like, whatever. Like, they're going to lose eventually. It happened to be.
Steelers are playing a lot of football in, like, a close time period. I think it was 3 games in 17 days, something like that. Yeah, they look kind of beat up.
I wouldn't mind a rematch Super Bowl with them.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be pumped about that.
Lil Wayne better sing, you know?
Dude. Yes.
Joe, how would you feel if we were watching a rematch of the Packers and the Steelers in Vegas?
At Aria.
I mean, I'd prefer probably to be at Hammy's, but, you know, you guys dragged me into this whole debacle here, so we're going to make the best of it. Hopefully you guys get fun.
It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the Steelers lost. I am a little surprised that they lost to the Washington football team.
Yeah, that defensive line of Washington football team is super legit.
I know.
Legit.
Yeah, but like
I've been high on their
Smith is
defense
bleeding all over the
man.
place.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know how much of an impact that's going to have, you know, for us at all. You know, now I think it's – does Kansas City now have the number 1 seed in the AFC?
No, because there's 10-2. Or no.
Yeah, I think.
No, they both only have 1 loss.
I think
Right.
Kansas City's
The
got the
Steelers
number
should
one
get the
seed
number
now.
one because Kansas City lost to an AFC team and the Steelers lost to NFC. So isn't it?
That's true. That's true. Steelers would still have.
I mean, the potential implications are like I would love to play the winner of the NFC East somehow if they manage to win a second or their first playoff game to play us in Lambeau. Would be awesome if we got to play.
I don't know that I would like to play the Giants, to be honest.
What, dude?
Dude, that defense. I've been saying it for weeks.
Bro, it doesn't matter what defense we play. I've been telling you this for 3 weeks.
I've been watching that Giants defense for weeks. I think that defense is way better than that team's record shows.
But their offense is trash.
Their offense is butt. Yeah.
Omar, it doesn't matter what defense we're playing. We have the Messiah that walks on earth.
Hey, I mean, we're going to play who we play. Like, I'm not going to be able to pick that.
I mean,
We're not going
Omar,
to play a better defense than the Colts, and we looked really good against the Colts defense.
Yeah.
That's going to be the best I think we'll play.
All right.
yeah, we had other issues in that game, but our offense was still able to score on them.
Yeah, if Joe didn't fumble that ball on the kickoff, that would have been fine. Yeah.
Me?
Damn it, Joe.
Yeah, God damn it.
Me?
Joe.
Darius Shepard.
Don't put the Colts game, episode 16 for our listeners, back on me when I was the one.
No, what?
Bucks.
So one thing that I don't
God damn
want
it.
in the playoffs that right now, if they started today, would be the case is us playing Minnesota for a third time.
Yeah. I don't want that either.
I just don't want to. Yeah, let's take that out. But like, fuck them. We'll beat them up. But yeah, that wouldn't be
At that
fun.
point, Dalvin Cook would be so burnt out. They're just riding and riding and riding that
Yeah,
broken
how many more
glass.
straws are in
The glass
So
has
we-
to break.
When we were at Joe's house on Sunday, I think I made a comment that Dalvin Cook is really only good for a few games a year. And his roommates thought that was the most outrageous comment that anybody has ever made. What do you guys think of that? Like, if you think about it, Dalvin Cook has not ever played a full season.
He's the number one running back in fantasy, so I think that statement is beyond absurd. But you also think Jameis is better than Brett Favre, so you make a lot of these outlandish statements, Omar.
To your point, fantasy is one thing, but like being a good player for your team to win a game is another one.
Yeah, my comment was he's only good for a few games a year. He had his few games this year. Is he going to keep being effective? That's where I question it.
I think he can be because of how well Thielen and Jefferson have been playing. If they can make it so that they don't need to just over the next 4 games run him 50 times a game, then I think he'll be fresh enough to make an impact. But
bro, are they playing for anything? Like,
yes, they're the wild card team that we would play if the playoffs started today.
Dalvin's
who else is on their
7
schedule?
games over 20 points in fantasy this year. 7. And he's had one 48-point game, one 39-point game. 7. So
Omar,
that's
please
here, and we
stop.
still have 4 more games. That's not a few games. That's 7 of 20 plus, which Aaron Jones does not have. With 4
we will correct the stats if there's any inaccuracies postscript.
You can force me all you want.
Yeah, Matt, that's all well and good. He's had 7 games this year. Fine. What about his career? Last year he missed a bunch of games. The year before that he missed a bunch.
I agree with
I think
that.
the year
Don't
before
ban
that he
him.
missed
Yeah,
most
he's
of the
made of
year.
glass. That's what I just said. He's made of glass. He won't be healthy enough to play us if he was to ever see that. If we were first seeing get a bye, he
what I'm
won't be healthy
saying.
enough. I said that. Yeah. He won't last.
That's all I'm saying is he's only good for a few games a year. He's had a few games this year. We'll see what happens from here on out.
So you're telling me that if we finish as the 2nd seed right now, we play the Vikings?
That is the way that the schedule would pan out, yes.
What the fuck? Huh. Well, that's not going to be the case. We'll be number 1. I'm not worried about that. Bye. We get everyone else to beat up on each other one more week.
Mm-hmm. That this year is going to be huge. Not the home field advantage, but that bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like again, like yeah, sure, Lambeau's not going to be as loud or like wherever you go, but not having to travel is still kind of big. Like
yes, but one one of my concerns is more than opposing defenses is that the weather could screw with our offense. Well, those have been our two biggest issues. We're in Tampa and Jacksonville, where we had really bad wind.
Right. So let's have a fucking frozen tundra in Lambeau, and we'll do that.
If it's cold, I'm not worried about it.
I'm fine with cold. I just don't want windy
frozen tundra.
Yeah, we would not be doing our journalistic integrity if we did not talk a little bit more about Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
break us down.
Do you think that it's a good idea?
Are we journalists, Omar?
Huh?
Wow.
I'm bullshitting here. Do you think that it's a good idea for Doug Peterson for the morale of the team, Carson Wentz?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of like. I don't know, man. The move. Yeah, you're not going to go anywhere in this season.
No, I don't know. So.
Hey, why don't you think so?
I don't think that Carson Wentz is like a top 10 quarterback, but I think he's at least
top half.
He's good enough. They just don't have a great team. The offensive line was getting destroyed. So,
but that's such an
if
Eagles move.
If you want to say that because of that, having someone who's more mobile is better, then that's a good enough reason. But I don't think team morale, I don't think taking your quarterback who's been with you for 4 years out in that moment is. So I guess I have more of an issue with what he said about his reasoning for doing it than
the actual
fact
reason,
that he
or the actual fact that he did it.
Yeah.
What was his reasoning?
He was saying it was about team morale, and I think that is almost throwing the team under the bus for your decision. Like,
that's an Eagles
be a
move,
man,
bro.
say Carson Wentz didn't play well, so I decided to pull him. Don't give me some shit about like I wanted to make the team happy. That seems like he's trying to run away from his decision making.
I have a number of points. One, we're talking about the fucking Eagles. This is pointless. We already beat them. It's over. Two, that's such a Philly move. Like, of course the Eagles are gonna say fuck it, like bring in our guy that we drafted, and like their fans are fucking cutthroat. They're shit. So three, we failed to shout out to Mike, the bartender at Hammy's. Shout out to you. No offense, but cheers. We love you, Mike. And also, four, like, goddamn, like, thankfully we're not in this fucking situation where, like, we draft fucking Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love and I have to put them in. Like, goddamn, what a nightmare.
I was going to say it's kind of ridiculous watching a team that, like, 2 years ago, everyone was like, they are so rich at the quarterback position between Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. And now they have, by their own doing, kind of lost any semblance of a career quarterback. I mean, whether or not you agree with the move to pull Wentz for Jalen Hurts, I think it's hard to argue it. At least at this point, it's too early to argue that Jalen Hurts is going to be a career quarterback either.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny to watch a team implode like that over such a short period.
That loss hurts so good,
Yeah, I just don't know what you do with this whole situation. I mean, I cannot deny that he was clearly a very good quarterback the past few years. Like, he came into Lambeau last year and beat us. He took a dog shit team to the playoffs last year. Something like it made him hurt or something. Like, the fact that he's thrown more interceptions, he's gotten sacked more times than anybody else in the league at this point. Like, he's playing worse than Mitch Trubisky.
Oof, brutal.
That is something. And now
kissing on some pitties.
Yeah, and the team is strapped with that huge contract. Yeah, I don't know.
That's even more absurd. that they owe him so much money and they just benched him.
Dude, they have like a third-string offensive line. I don't know, man. Rodgers didn't play that well when we had that one year where our whole offensive line was beat up. Not that bad because Rodgers is way better than him, but that offensive line and Alshon
what year are you
a
talking about?
38-year-old receiver. What was it when he came back in 17 after Hundley, after Hundley? But yeah, after Hundley.
Yeah, that's right, because Bulaga went down.
Yeah, he didn't play that well.
Miguel or something, yeah.
He played better, but you have Alshon Jeffrey, a receiver who's like 400 years old. I don't know.
That's what I mean is I think it was like kind of a shitty thing for their coach to do is kind of throwing the blame on his players and rather than taking it on himself and putting a better team around a quarterback. I also do think there's something to say for having two guys who are somewhat equal in level of quarterback play on the same roster. I think that having such a competent backup can kind of, it depends on the guys, but it can drive both of them to play better. So with like Wentz and Foles, it was like you could have made an argument for keeping either one of them. And if one sucked, you could easily see them getting benched for the other guy, even if it's just for a half. And then when you take that away, I think sometimes guys get a little too comfortable in their position and don't play at the highest level anymore.
Matt, you have your hand raised. Would you like to be recognized?
That feature on Zoom, that is fucking great. Yeah, fuck all these other teams.
I think the bear sticks that I've got from the bear that I shot that we've been eating are pretty lucky. We're 2 for 2 on them. We're going to roll them into the last game of the season as well against the Bears. I felt pretty scrawny mixing a Bloody Mary on Sunday morning with a bear stick.
The bear stick is key.
Yeah.
Do you have enough to get us through the playoffs?
We're going to have to ration. We'll have to
All right.
ration.
I'm going to propose an amendment here. Let's not have any more until the Bears game.
Yeah.
Fine. Maybe a few for the Titans game and then
there
some
is
for the
a
Bears
lot
game.
at my house in Wisconsin. I just do not have access to it. But yes,
because we had a bunch right before the Bears game, and eating bear right before a Bears game that
is appropriate. I agree. Yes. So, anyways, guys, Lions. It's 4:25 kickoff Eastern or something like that. Until then, everyone knows the strength of the team is related to the cheddar. So stay strong and go Pack Go.
Stay sharp.
Yeah, stay sharp, Joe. What the fuck? Go Pack Go.